Today I'm going to show you the absolute basics of video editing using a free software called Hitfilm right now. Hi, my name is Abdulrahman Siddiqui, aka Pakistani Pepper. I'm a high school teacher, doctoral student, and Google certified educator. On this channel, I make videos to help simplify technology so we can all create more together. If that appeals to your interests, consider subscribing. People shoot video for a variety of reasons. It can be to vlog, create tutorials, or, as a lot of teachers like myself are doing nowadays, record lectures to share with your students. But after every shoot, there's a lot of things that need to be added and corrected. That's where video editing comes in. Editing is a complicated field with so many people that can do such amazing things that to try and cover them all in one video would be actually impossible. So people who want to get into video editing start feeling a little intimidated, and understandably so. Like I said, it's a complicated field. Therefore today I'm going to break down 3 very basic editing skills. Making cuts so you can cut out what's unnecessary in your video, adding images and text, and adding background music to your video. Those 3 techniques alone should be enough to help you make most basic videos for a really long time. I'll be using the premium version of Hitfilm, which is a free video editing tool that I'll include in the link below. But essentially these basics can apply to any video editing software. So, because I'm sure you want to get to creating your videos, let's get to the very basics of video editing right now. Once you've downloaded the program, you're going to open it and it's going to bring you to this opening screen that has a bunch of tutorials. What you're looking for is on the top left, it's going to let you create a new project. Click on New. Now here you want to take into account what you actually filmed, what the dimensions were for that. For example, I recorded a 1080p full HD at 23.976 FPS, and it was only about 5 minutes. I don't need it to be much more than that, so I can just click OK. It doesn't really matter because you can edit the time later. Now it's going to open up to this project page, and I promise you this page looks a little bit intimidating, but it really isn't. So here's what you're going to do. On the top left, you're going to make sure this media panel is clicked and you're going to click import. And you're going to import the video that you want to edit. I want to edit this lecture video. I also want to add some background music to it and some images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import those now. So on the desktop, I had this one image that I wanted, which is my YouTube logo, and I wanted some kind of music. So now that's the sound that I have. That's why it looks a little bit different, because this is the audio, not a video file. This is the image that I want to add, and this is the actual lecture video that I want to edit. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to drag this onto the timeline where it's going to be edited. Notice how now I can move through it, which is a classic manga by Akira Toriyama. And now that video is even playing in the viewer above. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually make sure I can make this a little more visible. This slider lets me see in finer detail what I want to edit and what I want to keep the same. First thing I'm going to do, cut out unnecessary things. So let's say, for example, in the start, I have this image of me going for the camera, which is pretty useless. And I'm just silently sitting there until I actually speak. Hi class. Today we are studying Naruto. So I want to start right over there where I first start speaking. So this area, as you can see right here, is a little bit useless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this little blade looking tool, which is called the slice tool. And I'm going to click on that. And as you can see now, my cursor went from being a mouse to a blade. So I'll click right there where I wanted this. And that part is now separate from the rest of the video. However, it's still on the timeline. That means people will still see it. This awkward pause in the start. So, how do I get rid of this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the top and I'm going to click Selection Tool. I'm going to click on this just to be sure. For example, so I can click on this and it's now a separate clip. Or I can click on this, which is the separate clip that I just created. And I'm going to click delete. So now there's a giant empty space where that used to be. Obviously, I don't want it to be 5 seconds of blank space, so I'm going to drag my video back. So now right from the start, the 0-second mark is where you're going to see this. Hi class, today we are studying Naruto. So, very simply put, I was able to cut something that I didn't need by using this slice tool and then deleting it and moving back my image. And now, this is the perfect clip that I need in terms of having everything unnecessary removed from it. There are still two things that I need to do. One, I want to give this my own identity. So teachers like to add things, for example, or even vloggers like to add something, maybe a logo, maybe like a reminder where this is coming from. So now, for example, I have this image that I want to add and I want to put my channel's name next to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll grab it and I'll drag it over my video. Just make sure it's on the next track, it's not physically on the video, because if I do it physically on the video, look at that, it took over my entire video, and the video part just gets overtaken by this. Hi class, today we're going to be studying. So I don't want that. What I want is for it to be on its own track. So this is video 1, and on top of that, I have video 2. But obviously, this is looking pretty huge. So what I'm going to do is drag it to a size that's a little more friendly for my image size. And I want to make sure that people see that this is something from my channel. So I'm going to go ahead and add text for my channel name. See this A button? So you can click on this A symbol, or you can press T and you'll click text. And now wherever I click on the screen, I will add text. So I go here and I say Pakistani Pepper, which is my channel name. Now, I want to actually move this so that it's a little bit in line with this image. So like I did before, I'm going to go to the selection tool here. I'm going to move this down, move it a little bit closer, but it's still looking considerably smaller than my image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the text settings on the left. And I'll click text here. And now I'm going to change the size to whatever I want. And now this looks a little bit better. Just remember, I want this to stay over the whole video. So that means that my text, I'm going to have to stretch it out on the timeline to the duration of my video. And because I want this YouTube symbol to be there the whole time, I'm also going to drag that so that it's there for the duration of the timeline. As you can see, it all stays there. As long as I'm speaking, we have in the top right my YouTube logo and my channel name. The last thing that I want to do is that in addition to my talking, which maybe some students who are in my Dragon Ball Z class might find a little bit boring, I want to add some kind of background music. So notice how in the start I took this video and I layered things on top of it. This time I'm going to work below, so where the audio is, and I'm going to layer some audio behind that. So now I'll grab my audio, and instead of, once again, I don't want to go on top of my audio because that's going to erase my audio. What I'm going to do is go behind my audio. So I go here, and as you can see now, the music is there. Hi class, today we're going to be studying Dragon Ball Z, which is a classic manga. So at this point, what I want to do is not let this music overpower my dialogue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the unnecessary part. I don't need music after my video is done. So I'll click there, and like I did before, I'll delete it. Now I have this music here, but as you can see, the thing that you think is developed in the music is so loud, it's getting in the way of my dialogue. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lower it to a nice level. I can decide where that is, If I lower it all the way, that means the music becomes completely silent. Modern world is it's the same thing as not having it. But if I go here and I heighten it just a little bit, is developed in the modern world is something developed by a... So now I have the percussion in the background, the music I wanted to add, and my audio in the same place. And that essentially is me editing a very small segment for export. So now I can hit that export button, export now into out area, and as you can see, it has started exporting my video. So now, as you can see, it's been exported, so I can click here, and now as you can see, it has opened up where it saved my recording. Clicking on that will finally let me see the edited video that I just exported. Hi class, today we're going to be studying Dragon Ball Z, which is a classic manga by Akira Toriyama, one of the grandfathers of modern. So everything that I edited out has been gone. Everything that I added in the background is there, and this video is saved right where I chose to export it. And once again, in the viewer, I can see what I worked on. So at this point, that video is ready to share, and that was the very basics of video editing. So that's it. I hope you can use this tutorial to start editing your own videos. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. Also, if you found this video helpful, consider liking and subscribing. This is Pakistani Pepper saying peace out, stay peppery, and don't forget, sometimes life's best lessons are in the stories we hear least. Have an awesome day, guys.